Greetings, BookTube, and welcome to another Poetry Thursday. Today I'm going to indulge in the uh, most egregious of BookTuber um, liberties, which is to present a bit of my own prose or poetry, in this case, a bit of poetry. I dare it because it's so few lines. Um, and very much inspired by some of the great authors of our time. So this is a form called a Clericie. The rhymes and rhythm will become very familiar to you very quickly. The sort of the conceit of a Clericie is that they're a little bit ribald. So you will see I've taken some liberties, somewhat disguised by the language, but a bit of them are quite blue. If you are not a fan of blue humor, I strongly advise you to skip this one. So I'll give you a sample one about George O'Keeffe before we get into the authors. I think they're mostly all authors. So George O'Keeffe painted a queef. Had Steiglitz had known, he'd have left her a bone. So Steiglitz, of course, her photographer, a friend. O'Keeffe known for her very, shall we say, feminine floral paintings. Anyway, I was privileged to see her work in Santa Fe, where there's an excellent museum, and she's always been a favorite of me mums. I am a lover of art as much as I am of uh, literature, but we haven't really had a chance to discuss that much on this channel thus far. Okay, so let's get into the authors. Gustave Flaubert, of talent so rare and such simple heart, you could smell Emma's fart. Agather Christie, ha ha, you missed me. Now the pear's in a pickle, and the monkeys are fickle. Emily Dickinson, now what a fix you're in. Hope is the thing with feathers, but despair is wearing leather. Um, Dr. Albert Schweitzer, who I will be doing a video about, f who wrote some great books, including Reverence for Life. However, his Nobel Prize is for peace, and he was the doctor upon whom Dr. Dolittle is based. Dr. Albert Schweitzer on Kant, Pox, and God couldn't be righter. Went to prison camp for Mancha and Morgan, and still fixed broken arms, wings, and his organ. He was a famous writer on Bach, still, I believe, one of the authorities on Bach to this day, an amazing organist. That's how he raised the money for his hospitals in Africa. He was not a missionary. In fact, he was forbidden to proselytize because he wrote about the historical Jesus, one of the first to do so, at a time when it wasn't popular. And yes, he was imprisoned during the war because Alsace, when he was born, was German, and Gabon at the time was French, where he had his hospital. So for Mata and Morgan, he spoke both perfectly, of course, French and Spanish being Alsatian. But anyway, he was imprisoned. His whole hospital collapsed. He had to rebuild the whole thing from scratch. An amazing story. Okay, let's move on. Don Quixote we did, I think. No, Don Quixote de la Mancha and trusty Sancho Panca. Caught in flagrante dilante with Dulcinea and Rosinante. Okay, we've got Friedrich Nietzsche. Couldn't beat you. Crossed the wire over the trench from fiend to ubermensch. Karl Jung, one of my favorites. Karl Jung by a Wiener bee was stung right on the mandala. Made him wanna holla. And I wanted to do one serious one. Um, and this one's not an author, forgive me. It's MLK, although he wrote, of course, from the Birmingham jail most beautifully and his amazing speeches. So MLK took the hard way, took on the sheets. Now they're walking his streets. All right, I'll leave you on that more serious one. Hope you enjoyed these Clerisies. Please forgive me for featuring a bit of my own writing on this. I promise I do it extremely rarely and with great reticence. Please be kind. I do apologize for the blueness of this. I do have some blue humor in my veins. However, I tried to leave that for the most part out of the channel. Keep the channel mostly family friendly. Though I'm moving into doing a bit more humor, so that's always humor must and does and always will stretch the boundaries, right? So okay, well we'll have more poetry for you next Thursday.